Yo, what is up guys? It is Gumwings here, back with another reaction video. Like I said, I'm gonna try to react to more Mr. Nightmare content. So I just wait for a few days for this video to come out, for me to do the reaction video to it. Just cause for uploading reasons, and so you guys can watch Mr. Nightmare's video first before we do the reaction video. Now, which video are we reacting to? 3 disturbing true bar horror stories. Yup, we're gonna be reacting to that today, so I hope you guys do enjoy today's video. If you do, please leave a like. If you're new, please subscribe. If you are subscribed, make sure to post the notification bell, because I don't have a schedule. Anyways, we're gonna get on to the reaction. There is gonna be like a lot of pauses, a lot of me talking. So what I suggest you guys should do is that you guys should watch the video for yourself first, come back here, and we can have a discussion together. Anyways, let's get on with the video. Bar horror stories. So I'm a drinker, guys. I like to drink a lot. Well, I'm a social drinker, so like I like to go out a lot. If I'm not driving and my friends are like, yo, pull up to the bar right now, I'll be like, bet, and I'll pull up with them to the bar and have a few shots. Maybe even like, I love cocktails. Every time I go to the bar, I just want a cocktail. Now, what do we think this video is going to be about? These stories are going to be about? Will it be something to deal with like an actual bar? Like maybe a guy uses the washroom at a bar and like there's a creepy guy that follows him to the washroom. Maybe we might have someone that's drunk and gets the wrong Uber car. We might have someone who gets hammered, stays at the bar after night, and then when they're forced to leave, gets into a weird encounter. We'll see. Let's hope one of them is right.
Breakups are tough, even when you know they're for the best.
Damn, starting off
I've been trying
strong.
to keep myself together after splitting up with my boyfriend of 2.5 years. I don't really want to get into it. It wasn't messy or dramatic. We just weren't right for each other anymore.
And then you hit the
Didn't make
bar
it any easier.
to look for more guys.
Some days it felt like everything reminded me of him. I'd been forcing myself to stick to no contact, telling
Okay.
myself that it was the healthiest way for both of us to move on.
Okay.
It was hard though, really hard. One of the
Yeah,
things
let's
I
break
missed
up.
most about us was playing pool together. It was our thing.
Damn, so you're gonna reminisce it by going to the bar to play pool? Like, so it's been a while since I've been through like a breakup. But I don't remember like doing the things that my ex and I did. I don't remember that. Usually when like what's it called? After a breakup, I just like for months I would not do anything that I did with my girlfriend. Like I would not do anything at all. So this person's bright idea is to go back to the bar and play pool with strangers. How much you want to bet like what's it called? The person here. I'm not gonna say they're male or female because I literally do not know. But let's say like they go to the bar, right? They play pool, they lose, and they getting chased by people because they owe them money. How much you want to bet that's the horror story?
I'm a pretty decent player, definitely better than average.
Okay.
But my ex, he was incredible on his good days.
I'm
Pull off
random.
trick shots like it was
I'm
nothing.
literally just random on
One
pool.
rail, 2 rail
I'll either
bangs,
do good
kicks,
or just do
combinations.
bad.
I'm pretty sure he was even learning a standard mass.
Is this
We
even
tried
important to the
playing
story?
together, but
Is me
obviously
learning?
we're young,
Is me
and
knowing that
staying
someone
inside
plays
every
pool
night wasn't
important to the
exactly
story?
ideal. When we did go out, we always made sure that wherever we were going,
There's a
usually
pool
bar
table.
had
There's
some
a pool table.
tables.
Is
We
this
hated
even?
crowded bars with
Oh my gosh. Does this even like? Is this even important to the story? Yeah. So here's some context. I'm gonna go to a bar. I'm gonna go to the bar with a pool table. And oh no, the bar I went to had no pool table. Like imagine that's the horror. Like literally you go to the bar, there's no pool table, and then you just feel mad uncomfortable, and then some guy follows you. I feel like that's gonna be the story. They're gonna go to like a pool table, like a bar. There's no pool, or the pool is closed. If there is a pool table, there's probably like a bunch of like mean guys guarding the pool table, and then the person's gonna walk away, and then they follow them. I don't know. It's Mr. Nightmare. Either way, the story ends. The climax of the story is always the same in every single Mr. Nightmare story. Like
Long
I
waits
told
for
this in the New
tables
Year's
and
video.
screaming patrons, though. The
Like
places we went were quieter,
Mr. Nightmare's
usually
videos are
attracting an older
all
crowd.
basically the same. Like they all have
Dive
the same
bars with old,
climax.
scuffed tables and sticky floors were our sweet spot.
Why?
Obviously, you can't
Why?
expect to find a regulation table in pristine condition at any bar, but the dive bars were definitely a better shout than rowdy college bars.
Okay.
We were usually the youngest people there, but we didn't care.
Young
At that
birds.
point in our
Let me my camera a little bit
relationship,
back.
we had grown somewhat bored of the typical college, let's get plastered every night mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, even though I'm kind of shy, my ex was pretty charismatic and would get along with anyone. Us
Socially
not being total
acceptable.
newbies in a pool didn't hurt either.
I don't know what I'm
A
saying.
few weeks ago, I found myself missing that part of my life more than usual.
Okay, so
It was a
so they're gonna go to the person's gonna go to a bar. They're gonna go find a pool table. They're gonna play pool, and then with some weird guy. Okay, knowing Mr. Nightmare, I'm putting all the scenarios right now, hoping I'm right, and maybe I might lock it in with this one. So the person in the story is probably gonna go to a pool table. Some guy is gonna challenge the person at pool, and the guy's gonna make weird remarks to the narrator. Like the guy's just gonna make like maybe sexual jokes, maybe making the narrator uncomfortable. That's all up in the air. And then when the person's trying to go home, it becomes a stalker story, and the person follows the narrator home. I'm trying to be like gender neutral here, because like I don't want to get canceled, and like we don't know if the person's a girl or a guy. Like we don't know, so I'm just trying to keep this like neutral as much as possible. But yeah, I'm pretty predicting right now is that when it does happen, the guy, the person's gonna verse someone at pool. The person's gonna be creepy, make creepy remarks, make the narrator feel uncomfortable, and then the narrator's gonna get some sort of stalkish story. So it's gonna be like some sort of stalker story now.
random Wednesday, though.
I'm calling it right
so all
now.
my friends were free. I didn't want
Yeah,
to sit around the
they
house
go alone
feeling
too
sorry
because
for
no one's
myself
free.
anymore.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
decided
So
to
yeah,
head
I
out
think
to
I'm
one
right
of the
with
bars we
this.
used to go to.
I think I'm right. I think I'm on
I
the
told
money with
myself
this.
It wasn't about nostalgia. That I just needed
It's
to get
about
out.
principle because
Believe
I
me,
miss
I'm
my
not the type of
ex.
person,
So
nor do I
I'm
usually
going
have the
back to a
confidence to
pool
go out
table.
myself, but I was feeling some type of way that night. The bar was exactly the same as I remembered.
There's a
Unlike
pool
me.
table. The bar is exactly as I remembered. So you have like what's it called? You have like the what's the name? The bartender right there. He's sitting in the same spot where me and my ex got our first drink together. We have the rowdy crowd on that side with the jukebox, and in the middle, oh my gosh, the pool table. It's as if I have never left. I'm really
Worn
calling
out
it
stools,
right
a
now. I'm
jukebox in
pausing
the
way too
corner.
much with
The
this.
familiarity was comforting.
Okay.
It also stung. The memories came flooding back, and I almost turned around and left right then.
Then someone
but I
challenges you
forced
to pool.
myself to stay.
Oh damn.
After grabbing a few drinks, I wandered over to one
They're
of the
gonna get
pool
hammered, by
tables
the
and
way.
started idly chalking a cue.
And
I'm
then
not really
someone.
sure what I was planning on doing there. Playing alone would have been a little odd.
So he's waiting for
Luckily,
someone
my
to like
question
play
was
with them.
answered because a
I
guy
see.
walked over.
Tell me I didn't call it. Tell me I did not call it. Now, we got a guy that's gonna come up to the narrator, gonna challenge them at pool. Now, how much we're gonna bet that after challenge the person to pool, he's gonna make some weird remarks, make the narrator uncomfortable. Are we calling it now, boys?
He was
Are we
in his
locking it in?
mid-20s,
Lock that
the only
in.
person in the room even close to my age. He
Okay,
leaned
so
against the
someone's in
table and asked if I
mid-20s.
was up for a
So
game.
everyone's just basically
I nodded
old,
and told him to
or
rack
like
'em up.
everyone's young
He
and
put
these
some
two are
money in the
old.
slot and started racking the balls.
Okay, okay.
I laughed to myself as he racked them wrong, but I didn't say anything.
Okay.
We played a few rounds, and I started to relax. He wasn't bad. Not as good as my ex, but not terrible. I
No,
wasn't
no,
gonna
it's a
leave him
horror
anymore.
story. The narrator falls in
I
love with
won every
him.
rack we played. We chatted as we played, and he even
Okay.
bought me a couple of drinks. He was
Okay, I'm changing my answer. The drinks might have been spiked. Okay. But it might be but now we already see it. Like, Mr. Nightmare is following the same formula. Like, right now, they're playing pool. And then after that, she probably got spiked. The narrator probably got spiked by the drink. And then they're probably gonna wake up in the person's car. I'm putting that money on. I'm
Friendly
changing my
enough,
answer.
but it quickly became clear he wasn't the brightest guy in the world.
Did I lock in the
I
wrong
like
answer?
sharp and quick-witted guys who can hold their own in a conversation. This
So he's
guy,
just like socially
not so
awkward.
much.
He's just socially awkward,
Still, I didn't mind.
or keeps to
It
himself.
felt good to just play and talk and not overthink things for once. I was having a good time.
Wait, is that the same bar?
After the fourth
Did we
game,
just zoom
I asked the
out?
question, asking if I wanted to go
Yo,
back
that
to
is
his
so cool.
place.
He found like pictures of a
Question caught
bar
me
that are
off
the
guard,
same.
But I guess I couldn't have been too shocked.
Okay.
I froze for a second.
Wait, did he
before
lose?
shaking my head. I tried to make it playful, saying he'd need a second date for that.
Oh, he asked her
In all
out.
honesty, I just
Alright,
didn't want to move.
I'm getting
so
canceled.
quickly.
Crap.
I guess I wouldn't have been totally opposed to taking things further with him, but a random Wednesday night wasn't the time for that. I guess I didn't do a good job turning him down, though.
Oh,
his entire demeanor
he
changed.
kept like pressing
His
on
smile
him.
dropped, and he literally started scowling at me. I was not prepared for what happened
Oh,
next.
he's gonna lash out?
He said, "Are you serious?" and grabbed my wrist, saying something about spending all that money on those drinks.
Okay, so this becomes something creepy. So we were kind of right. Like we were kind of right with like how the story was gonna go. Like he was gonna like he was gonna like be nice and friendly. I thought like at the beginning he's just gonna make weird remarks while they played, but I guess like he was trying to do like nice guy syndrome, which is actually a real thing.
Before I could respond, he snatched my purse too.
Oh,
I had never been in a situation like that.
that is
instead of
so
screaming or
wrong.
fighting, I just kind of froze up. Even though we were in a public place.
Okay, yo,
I was
this
still
guy's making a
terrified.
scene.
Luckily, a couple of older guys at the bar noticed what was happening and stepped in.
Yeah, you bet.
I'm honestly not sure what I would have done had they not.
Step in,
told
step
the guy
in.
to let me go. The guy glared at me, muttered something under
He's
his
probably
breath,
the
and
stalker.
threw my purse back onto the table before storming right out of the bar.
Imagine he's waiting in the
My
parking
heart was
lot.
still racing, and I thanked those guys profusely for helping me out. That was it for me, though. I called
Damn.
an Uber and left the bar.
Okay,
still
okay.
kind of shocked and trying to process what had just happened. I decided to close my eyes in the Uber. I must have fallen asleep because the next thing I remember is the Uber driver gently waking me up.
And telling him I'm at
We
my
were parked
house.
across the street from my house.
Okay.
I thanked him, got out of the car, and started
Okay.
walking toward the door. As I rummaged through my bag for my keys, I impulsively checked my phone for the first time since leaving the bar.
Oh, he got his number?
That's when I saw it. That god-awful notification. AirTag found moving with you. I nearly
Oh.
dropped my phone. My hands started
What's
to shake
AirTag?
as I rummaged
Wait,
through my
what's
purse,
AirTag?
tossing aside my wallet and makeup until my fingers brushed against something unfamiliar. I pulled it out and stared in disbelief.
What is it?
There was literally an AirTag in my bag.
What's an
A wave
AirTag?
of panic hit me, way worse than what I was feeling earlier. I was still standing in the middle of the street, so I threw it on the ground and stomped on it a bunch of times until I was sure it
So
was
is
broken.
AirTag like a tracker?
I fought back a scream and started breathing heavily. The cold wasn't
That's
helping.
gotta be
I
scary
needed to
though.
get inside.
At least see like you're
I
not
looked around
in your house.
frantically, but the street was completely empty. Whoever had planted the AirTag, probably that guy from the bar, would know exactly where I was. Maybe not my exact house, but the
But like
street
the
for sure.
area.
The
Damn,
houses
so
on
that's
my
gotta be
street are
scary.
large and spaced out, so he'd definitely be able to narrow it down.
Damn, that's
Grabbed
actually
my
mad
purse and
scary.
sprinted to the back door, fumbling with the lock before finally getting inside.
Someone broke into your house?
Slammed the door
Imagine.
behind me and locked it. My heart pounding so hard it felt like it might burst.
Damn,
I was safe.
the anxiety's
I
going
couldn't stop
crazy.
I walked up to my room, wondering how I had gotten myself
And then you
into
see-
this mess.
And then out the window you see the
Normally, I'm
guy,
asleep by 10 and out cold for 9 or 10 hours. there
but
was
you
no way I
could
was
not
gonna
sleep.
that
Nah,
night.
no way you're sleeping.
I looked out my bedroom window, thinking maybe the scene
He looks out the window, he sees the guy like outside. Yo, imagine, yo, watch right now. She looks outside, the guy's literally in front of her street right now. Watch.
would lull me to sleep or something.
Nah, there's a guy outside.
As I was looking out the window, kind of mindlessly,
There's a guy.
I noticed an old, beat-up Lincoln drive
Oh.
slowly past my house. Nothing too unusual, but it was
It's
kinda
the guy's
late for
car.
cars to be driving on a residential
Yeah,
road.
this could be scary.
But then it came back from the opposite direction, and I
Ooh.
knew something was wrong.
Yeah, it's the guy's car.
It passed even slower the second time, like the driver was scanning the houses.
Looking for
I didn't
you.
want to face the reality of the situation, but when it passed a third time, I had no choice.
It parked.
It was the guy.
It parked in front of
Had
your
to
house
be.
too?
He was trying to find my house.
Ooh.
I wanted to scream again.
Because of the AirTag.
The next time the car passed, the driver's side window was rolled halfway down.
Oh, he's really trying
I
to look.
wanted to call the police, but I didn't want that guy to know he was in the right area. I know that doesn't make any sense, but I was so
Because,
scared
like,
and couldn't
there
think
isn't really
straight.
no evidence of him,
The
like,
next time the
stalking.
car
That's the thing.
passed, the driver's hand was hanging out of the window, holding something.
A
It
gun?
looked like a knife.
Oh, that's
And then,
scary.
instead of driving past, the car stopped in the middle of the road, right across from my house. I ducked down, my heart beating a million beats
He
a
opened the
minute.
car.
I stayed there, crouched below the window, too terrified to move. By the time I looked up, the car was gone.
Then he was, like, really
I waited
looking.
for what must have been an hour, but it didn't come back.
He gave
The
up.
next morning, I told my parents everything. My dad scolded me for not calling the police, but I told him I was too scared to.
I mean, like, let's say, like, the guy gets away. He drives back around in a different car, and he sees police in the area. He probably thinks he's in the right area, too. Like, by the time the police would come, the guy would have been gone by then. And if there is police cars that are surrounding the area, like, patrolling the spot, he'd probably, like, mentally think, like, oh, so the girl noticed me. Yeah, I'm in the right area. Which is, like, really creepy to think about.
Called a
I
buddy
think this is more of a
because the
stalker
police
story. This
asked
is more of
for
a stalker
advice.
story than it is like a
His
bar
friend
story,
said there
though.
wasn't much they could do without more evidence
That's
or the
true.
car's plate number, which I hadn't been able to see.
I didn't know
His
air
friend
tags
told us to
exist. Though.
call the
I've never,
police
I've never heard of
immediately
air
should we ever
tag.
see that car again. I
Okay.
didn't leave the house for days. Even now, I'm really scared that he's waiting somewhere and he's gonna see me enter or exit my house again.
Did you move though?
I haven't seen the car since though, so maybe the nightmare is over.
Yeah, he just gave up. Did you move though? Because I would have moved by then. Okay, Kevin Monte's story, or Kevin Mont.
I don't have the most exciting life, but it's comfortable.
Mhm.
I'm 40, single, no kids.
Oh.
Some people might find that depressing, but honestly,
Yo, I'm not even kidding. I was about to say that's the sad life we living. Like 40, no kids, all by yourself. Right now, that's pretty common though. Like as we get older, like before, people were getting married, having kids younger. Now it's just getting because like everyone's not financially stable. No one can like stay in a relationship long enough. So like everyone's getting either married late or having children late now. We're reverting back to normal. We're evolving backwards.
I don't mind. I've got a steady job, a decent house, and no
Mm-hmm.
one to answer to but myself.
Okay.
I
Living
work as a
alone.
bartender at a high-end luxury
Oh,
rooftop in
okay.
a neighboring town.
So this might be
catering to the
interesting.
kind of
We're doing
clientele
something
who
interesting
think
here.
Regular bars are beneath them.
We're getting
I
a
don't live
POV story
anywhere
of
near
someone that actually
level
works at
of
the bar.
luxury myself.
This actually
My
gonna be
place is in a pretty
interesting.
middle of the pack neighborhood, about 20 minutes away.
Mm-hmm.
But working there has its perks.
You get free
The tips
drinks.
are amazing. People in that area aren't shy about throwing money around.
If you're it,
and
like think about it, if you work at like a luxury spot, you know the tips are gonna be high because everyone's being wealthy, everyone has a good income, everyone's gonna be friendly because like they have no problems to worry about. They rich, so being like working as a bartender in like a luxury bar, it really has good perks. Like I bet this guy's getting like the highest tip he ever got paid was 100, because like everyone has money to burn.
rotating crowd keeps things interesting.
Okay,
Since
so
the bar is upscale,
people come in,
you
people
don't have the
leave.
typical regulars you find in a dive.
All
I
right.
like that. I never quite liked how close some customers would get with me. Or
Like,
any other
instantly.
bartender for that matter.
Instantly get
Maybe
close
that's
to
just
you.
me though. I like to keep to myself.
Damn, bro wants his
Probably mention
space.
that my name's Kevin. That'll be important later.
Bro wants his
It
space.
was a Friday night.
Okay, how much money to bet? A customer's gonna come up to him and be like, "Thank you, Kevin," and Kevin's gonna go, "See, now that just made me strange. That's a lies are going through my mind, but I didn't think too much of it." How much you think that? How much you think that that's gonna be a line in the story right now?
Our busiest night.
There's gonna be a line.
Place was
That's gonna be a
packed,
line in the
as
story.
usual, with groups
Someone's
of
gonna say
friends
his
clinking
name,
glasses,
and he's gonna be like,
couples on date nights.
"That
A
alarm
few
bells
folks
are
who
ringing,"
probably
but I
wondered
didn't
if
pay
this
too
would
much
feel
attention.
important. I always like playing a mental game with my patrons. I try to figure out which ones are pretending to be something they're not. You
What?
can tell a lot about people by the way they order a drink.
What do you
Ones who
mean?
ask for
I'm
complicated cocktails are usually trying to impress someone.
okay.
The ones who
Oh,
order a whiskey neat, they've had a day. I
okay.
had my eye on a couple at the end of the bar who were down to their last sips of wine.
All
It's always
right.
better to offer a refill before they wave you down.
Okay.
I was in my
Okay.
groove, mixing drinks and chatting with customers.
I want
I noticed
cocktails.
someone
I
walk
look,
in
just want a
who
cocktail
definitely looked
now.
out of place. I clocked the guy immediately. He was clenching his teeth and scowling like he was furious. He had jet black hair that wasn't combed and sat like a bird's nest on his forehead.
So you
He
had,
was wearing
yo, imagine like being in a sea full of like well dressed people, and then you just and then you just see someone that's like not well dressed at all, looks like he's a homeless person at like a luxury bar. Yo, that's gotta scare me too.
Wearing a blank black hoodie under a faded leather jacket, which looked like it
Okay,
hadn't been cleaned in years.
all right.
There were stains all over it, but none of that was as unsettling as his face.
He's
Like
gonna
I said,
you
he
watch
just looked
the
so
pitch.
angry.
He's gonna show his
He made a
face.
beeline for the bar, but he didn't sit down.
Oh,
He just
okay.
stood there,
He
staring
wanted
at me.
drinks.
I
He's gonna
wondered to
say his
myself
name.
how he had gotten past the doorman in the lobby. I
He
cleared
stuck
my
his way
throat
in.
and asked if I could get him something to drink, trying to keep my tone neutral despite the
Hi,
weird vibe he was giving
Kevin.
off.
He's gonna say hi. He's
He
gonna
didn't
mention his
answer
name.
right away, which was strange. He just kept glaring at me like he was getting ready to swing. Finally, he muttered that he wanted a double shot of Jaeger. I nodded, grabbed a glass, and poured the shot. Jaeger isn't a drink we pour often here.
Okay.
Most of our patrons are likely to ask for something a little higher quality. But hey, if someone wants
What's
Jaeger, I'm
a
not about to
Jaeger?
question their taste.
Is a Jaeger even good? Like for people that actually drink? Because I just drink just to drink. Ali, I'm a social drinker, so I just drink just to drink. And like whenever I go to bars with my friends or like with my family members, I always order cocktails. I don't even bother looking what's in it. I just take a cocktail that sounds like a cool name. So like, is a Jaeger like not a good like alcoholic drink? Someone in the comments tell me about it because I'm actually interested now.
I set the glass in front of him and moved on to serve a few other patrons.
Okay, okay.
When I came back to charge him, he tossed crumpled cash onto the counter.
That wasn't even
The
enough.
hustle threw me off. Hardly anyone pays in cash at this place. Again, though, it
He's
wasn't my
really
place to
homeless.
judge.
He really
The
is
guy
a
didn't
homeless
say
man that snuck
anything as I
in.
rang him up, and I was ready to move on when he spoke again.
Kevin, he's gonna say
I still
something.
remember his exact words.
Kevin, wait, it would be like another one, Kevin, or get me another one, Kevin. Kevin, come back. And then in his mind, he'd be like, the Kevin, this guy said my name, but no one ever says my name. I didn't even mention my name to the guy. Yet, if it was so strange, alarm bells were ringing, but I try not to pay too much attention to it.
I knew I'd find you here, Kevin.
Okay, I was close. I was close enough. But like I think we knew that it was gonna go in that direction. I think we all knew it was gonna go there. I like how like there's like so much suspense. Like listen to it again.
I knew I'd find you here, Kevin.
Boom. I just like how there's so much like suspense
My
there.
eyes snapped to his.
It's actually
as I
kinda funny.
scrambled to process what he just said.
He said his
I
name.
put the glass in my hand down and demanded to know how he knew my name. I didn't want to make a scene, so I kept my voice low.
How do you know
I
my
hoped He
name?
got the gist of how serious I was. He didn't answer my question.
Did you
He
not?
stared at me with the
I'm
same
gonna
angry
assume it.
intensity.
I'm gonna assume it right now. He didn't have a name tag on it. Like there was no name tag at this. Like bartenders did not have to wear name tags. I'm just gonna like assume that's like the case right now. What like I really want to know though is like, is there like more context to this? Like maybe like he has beef with Kevin, and that's why like he's so mad at Kevin. He's just gritting his teeth because he's so mad at him. I think there's gonna be something about that, or he probably tipped Kevin like a lot of money, and then he lost all his money. Who knows? There probably is gonna be some backstory, like context to this.
Finally, he said, "I know what you did." Before I could ask him what
Okay,
he
so there is some
he
like
turned
backstory
and walked towards
context.
the elevators. I wanted to yell something or chase after him.
Yeah, what did I do?
Decided against it.
I'd be like, what did
I
I
was on
do?
the clock.
I do a lot of things every
Couldn't
day.
just neglect my
Can't you
job.
be more specific?
Instead, I just stood there for a moment, completely thrown off. I was honest to God confused out of my mind.
I'd be confused
I
too.
didn't recognize him in the
If
slightest.
someone like knew my name but I didn't know
Couldn't think
this,
of
know
anything
them.
I had done that would warrant such a cryptic statement. I'm no saint, but I don't go around making enemies.
Mm-hmm.
Put me in a sour mood for the rest of the night. When my shift finally ended, I drove home. But I
He
couldn't
cut
stop thinking
he
about
cut
what had
him off
happened
at like
earlier.
a stop sign.
I racked my brain for literally
cut him
any
off while
explanation
driving?
that made sense, but couldn't think of any. By the time I ended up going to bed, I was still relatively unsettled by the whole thing.
And Kevin's
Sometime in
the
the
old
middle of
man's
the
gonna
night,
be
I woke
at his
up
door.
randomly. I wasn't really sure what woke me up, as I didn't have to go to the bathroom, and I'm usually
He's
the type
getting
of
stared
person to
at.
sleep
When
through
you
the night.
Yo, when you wake up in the middle, I heard about this. When you wake up in the middle of the night, but like you're not thirsty, or you don't have to use the washroom, there's like a certain sense in your body that like has like a feeling that you're being watched by something. So when you wake up in the middle of the night and like you have nothing to do, you're being watched by something. Yeah. Yeah. So when that happens, you probably are being watched by something.
I didn't hear or see anything, but something felt off. Without moving, I kept my eyes open, waiting for them to adjust to the darkness. After
Booms.
about a minute, I saw something that gave me an adrenaline rush
I'm
of
scared.
fear. There was a dark mass in the corner of my room, next to
Ooh.
the door.
Oh. Oh.
It was just standing there,
I was like bracing myself for that because I knew Mr. Nightmare was going to like some sort of like jump scare here.
but I was 100% sure it was something that didn't belong in my room.
It's
I
the
felt my
old. It's
heart
the old
start to
man.
race, but I forced myself to stay still, pretending to still be asleep. Someone was in my room. I repeated
It's gotta
that
be
thought to
scary though.
myself like
Waking
6
up to
times
that.
before
Like,
truly
how else would you
processing it.
react? Would you wake up and scream? Would you wake up and attack the person, or would you just pretend you're sleeping? That's gotta be like. It's gotta be something scary to wake up to. Like you, it's like almost heart attack, like type scary.
I knew I had to do something. I counted silently to 3, and in one quick motion, I sprung out of bed, screaming like a crazy person.
Okay,
I was prepared for a fight, but the figure didn't come toward me.
he just stared.
Instead, he bolted for the door. As he moved, I heard something clatter to the floor. I
A
chased after
knife.
him through my house,
He
but by
dropped
the
the
time I
knife.
reached the front door,
He
it
was
was
gone.
wide open, and whoever had been in my room was gone. I wanted to run out into the yard to look for him, but I was worried that I'd be walking directly into a trap. Instead, I made what I still think is the smart decision and slammed the door shut and locked it. I thought back to the clatter I had heard
It
earlier
was
in
a
the night.
knife. Watch, it was a knife.
I walked back to my bedroom,
It's a
turned on
knife.
the light, and froze.
It was a
In
knife.
the
A
corner of the
gun.
room, there was a knife, just laying
Okay.
there on the floor. It was one of
Nice
mine,
picture.
taken from the kitchen. I felt sick. Whoever I had just chased was planning to hurt me, possibly kill me. I called the police right after that, and they quickly arrived and searched both my house and my yard, but found nothing. I gave a description of the man from the bar, and the police got the video footage from my bar, but they haven't been able to find him yet, and I
Damn.
haven't heard anything.
I feel like yeah, if
The
you
thing
put
that
two and two
freaks me out
together,
the
it,
most is that I know
it's
for
kind
a
of
fact I
scary.
had locked all my doors that night.
So you
I
might
locked
have-
them every night.
he might have
During their
pick
search,
locked.
though, the police were never able to figure out how that man entered my house.
Pick locked.
None of the windows were broken or unlocked, and there was no sign of forced entry. To this day, I still have no idea how he got inside. I haven't seen him since, but I would be lying if I said I don't think about this encounter often.
Bro's having schizophrenia. Imagine, like he just imagined all that happening, like all in his head. Honestly, though, like I don't know exactly how I would process that. Though I have no idea how I would process it. Like imagine someone like goes up to you and be like, "I know what you did." Like I did like a lot of things. You gotta be more specific for me to apologize for what I did. Okay, story 3.
I work as a bartender at a bar.
Oh,
and
we're getting
restaurant
two
in a
bartender
suburb
stories.
just outside
Okay.
Baltimore.
That's cool.
I'll do my best to explain the layout.
But
so
I
the
feel like
story
that
makes
was
sense.
kind of a bar
It's
story,
a busy place with a unique setup.
I guess.
There are no waiters, just bartenders like me and the cooks in the back. If
Oh,
you want to find food or non-alcoholic drinks, you have to order them at the bar. And when everything's ready, you grab it from the counter.
I feel like I've seen this in the Bar Rescue video. I mean, episode. You imagine there's a guy that like appeared on Bar Rescue. They were getting stuff from Bar Rescue. Because I remember like in Bar Rescue one of them you have to order food from like what's it called from the bartenders, and then you have to pick up your food from like a different location. I remember that happened on one of the Bar Rescue episodes, and they changed it right after.
I'm not sure why things are done that way, but I guess it had something to do with management being cheap and trying to
I
avoid
guess.
hiring waiters.
I mean,
Either
I feel
way,
like you just have
keeps
the
things
bartenders
fast-paced,
to like
which
bring the
I
food
actually
to.
like. For whatever reason, the place is really popular. Even
You
though
could just
I
have the
personally
bartenders
don't
deliver
think
the
it's anything
food.
super
That would have
special.
made
The
things much more
atmosphere is
easier.
lively most nights, with great music, a buzzing
Mhm.
crowd, and a standing area near the DJ booth where people gather to dance and chat. The
Okay.
constant flow of customers and the high energy vibe make the job fly by. I love meeting and talking to new people, so the gig is perfect for me.
He's
I would
just
probably lose
social.
my mind if I had to wait long periods of time between serving guests, but that's just me. I bet some
I
people
feel that's
are
a
the
lot of
opposite.
people.
That
Nah, that's like
particular-
with me too. Oh, I put closed captions on. That's with me too, though. Like whenever I'm like at work too, whenever like it's not too busy, like I just feel like if it just downgrades me. Like I'm just like cleaning the same things over and over again. But like if I have like a constant line of people, I love having constant line. Like it keeps me active. It makes me actually like, do something that's productive. Like I like having a constant line of people like coming in.
Night started off like any other. It was a weekend, so things were going to be super busy.
Okay.
I was ready.
Yep.
After a certain time, the bar started filling up with people.
Let's
It looked like
go.
more of a younger college crowd that night,
Frat
which meant more
party,
dancing, more
bar.
spilling, and a rowdier environment in general. Oh yeah, and worse tips, which kind of sucked for me.
I
This
mean,
one
would you rather have like think about it though, guys? Would you rather have one tip of $100 or $5 tips, but like a lot of people? I'm not saying the amount, but like just like a constant amount of people giving you $5 tips for your shift. Like I'll take the $5 tips over the 100, just because like there is more people. I feel like it would like accumulate over time, and I'll make more than 100.
group of kids just kept on ordering round after round of tequila shots faster than I could line up the salt and limes. It's always chaos when they take over the bar. One of them was so plastered, he used the same pickup line on me like 3 times. I was running around doing my thing when I noticed an
That's
elderly couple
crazy.
walk in and sit down at the booth in the corner of the restaurant. At first glance, there was nothing strange about them. I just thought it was interesting that 2 people that age would want to come into a rowdy place like this.
Yeah, imagine like the demographics just so weird. Like you have a bunch of young people together, and then you see like imagine me the outstanders, like just 2 elderly people come in. It's like being like an adult at like a McDonald's play place. Like you're just there. Nah, that's like actually like weird. I don't know. Like maybe like being an adult at a park would be more like maybe somewhat similar. I don't know. Everything I'm trying to make it's weird now. It just becomes weird.
Didn't have too much time to think about it though, so I went back to work.
Okay.
Fast forward maybe 30 minutes to an hour.
By the way, wasn't it look
I
like
was
the
halfway
guy,
through
the
pouring a line of
bartender is like
gin
looks like he's like the
tonics when I noticed
Flash,
the couple again.
just sprinting.
My hands kept working, muscle memory taking over, but my brain was stuck on them for some reason. That's when it hit me. They were just sitting there motionlessly. They hadn't ordered anything either. No food and definitely not any drinks, I would have remembered. I
Okay.
looked a little closer and realized that they weren't even looking at each other. They were both fixated at the wall next to them. From what I could tell,
Ooh.
it didn't look like they were talking either.
Do people have
It was
dementia?
the strangest thing. I
2
was
adults
beyond
have
curious,
dementia?
but the bar was slammed, and I had too much to do to spend time wondering about it.
Uh-huh.
I figured they might be waiting for someone, or didn't realize
Something.
how the place worked. Maybe they were waiting for a waiter to take their order. When I finally had a break,
You
I
went up to
decided
them.
check on them myself. I walked over to the table and put on my most polite smile. As I approached, neither of them turned to face me. They were both still staring at
The wall?
like statues. I cleared my throat and
Something
asked them if they
paranormal?
wanted anything to eat or drink. The woman didn't even flinch. She kept staring at the wall.
What's on the
and hadn't
walls?
spoken at all.
I wonder what's on the wall. It's
Man
actually
turned
giving
his
creepy
head.
vibes. Like they're like actually giving me like paranormal vibes. Like maybe like they're not even like people. They're just like spirits that like have accidentally wandered in. Like it's actually like freaking me out. How much you want to bet when they actually look at her? They have like their eyes are just black. And they don't even have a mouth.
Slowly. Like
I'm
he
getting
was
scared
moving in
now.
slow motion.
I'm actually getting like
When his
scared for
face
this now.
came into view, I felt a chill run through
I'm
me.
just getting scared.
His skin was pale and wrinkled.
Oh,
and
shit.
His eyes were almost sunken into his face completely.
I'm scared. He's gonna show a picture, isn't he? He's gonna show a picture, isn't he?
He didn't speak, just stared at me and shook his head once, firmly but silently.
Yo, they're ghosts.
Something about the way he looked at me made my stomach twist.
Yo, this is actually
I
like
muttered
making me
something in
scared now.
response and quickly returned to the bar.
Oh, I didn't mean to
I
pause.
had the weirdest feeling in my gut after that.
They're
Those
ghosts.
people looked like they didn't even belong in this century, let alone this bar.
Ooh,
I
paranormal.
didn't look over
Yo,
at that.
think about how long it's been since we got a paranormal story from Mr. Nightmare. Just let that sink in. It's been on such a long time since we got a paranormal story from Mr. Nightmare. And I think that's cool that we got a paranormal story.
Booth for a long time.
I'm hoping this is still going to
Eventually,
be a
things started
paranormal
to
story.
die down a little, and I remembered the couple. I glanced over impulsively, and I nearly dropped the glass I was
They're not
holding.
there.
Both of them were staring directly
Oh,
at
shit.
me now. I made direct eye contact with the woman, but she never averted her gaze. I don't think I'd ever been more uncomfortable at my
I got
job
scared.
than I was in that moment. I looked away and pretended to be busy, trying
Yep.
not to freak out completely.
But
By the time I
that was gonna be a
glanced
jump
back
scare.
again, the booth was empty.
He just
I was
left.
relieved. I was just glad that they were gone, as mean as that sounds. By
They're
the
not
end
in
of the night,
people.
I was still
It's
thinking
probably
about the whole thing.
ghosts.
As I wiped down the bar and closed up with my coworker Karen, I decided to ask her if she saw anything strange. She's, I guess, what you would call a vet. She's been working there for years and
She
finds
an
herself
actual
noticing
Karen.
everything and everyone that comes through the doors. When I asked her about the couple, she gave me a confused look.
Like, what
and
couple?
said she didn't know what I was talking about.
Yeah, they never
I looked at her
existed.
blankly and told her I was talking about the elderly couple that was sitting in the corner booth.
They never
She
came
shook her
in.
head and told me she didn't remember seeing anyone like that. She then jokingly asked me if I was hallucinating.
Yo,
Got a playful laugh out of me,
paranormal
but On
story.
the inside, though, I was losing it.
Maybe,
I knew
okay,
what I-
if we're gonna take this scientifically, let's say, like, you're not a ghost believer. You don't believe in, like, spirits. You don't believe in, like, phantoms or, like, any paranormal activities. If we're gonna think about this in a more of a realistic, scientific way, probably you just felt overwhelmed by the amount of people that are coming in, like about a bunch of teens, and you're just manifesting your ideal thing of what you wanted to see, which is like an elderly couple who's going to be nice to you. But because of your manifestation, like your mind was playing games on you and making them seem more creepier than what you wanted to happen. I don't know. It's probably something with her mind, with like the whole like rush hour
I
thing.
had seen. I
That's
asked her if
what
she
I'm
was sure,
guessing.
and she crossed her arms before listing at least 10 random people who had ordered food that night and what they were wearing.
Oh,
I laughed again and complimented her memory, but like I said before, I was dying on the inside.
you were just
By the time we locked up, I started
you saw a
getting
ghost,
nervous.
or you're just like mentally
As I
breaking
walked to my
down.
car, I noticed something that made me nearly drop my keys in fear.
You see it.
Across the street, there were two dark figures standing under a lone streetlight.
Oh, why is there an elderly couple?
I wanted to scream, but the sound wouldn't come. I didn't wait another second. I jumped into my car, locked the doors, and sped out of the lot without another look.
And they have black eyes
The
too.
drive home was awful. I was trying not to break down the whole time. I just kept
No, that's gotta be
repeating, "Oh my
scary."
God," over and over.
Then you look in the mirror, they're
I
like
had so
sitting in
many
your seats.
questions. Had Karen somehow missed them? Were those people even real? Was I going insane?
Last
I couldn't
one,
explain it. I thought I was going crazy.
the insane part.
I wish this story had a resolved ending.
But there
It
isn't.
doesn't.
It just
I
ends
never
off
saw
here.
those people again. I never got any kind of explanation. I don't think I ever will.
Nah, it's probably some paranormal stuff. Let's be real. It's probably gonna be something about ghosts. It's probably gonna be a paranormal thing. Anyways, let's get on with the review. Alrighty, review time. So, what are my thoughts on this video? First story, kind of predictable. Second story, kind of also predictable. But the last story, that gave me chills. Like, that actually was like giving me like amped up. That was actually getting me kind of scared there, which I really do enjoy from Mr. Nightmare. I think the last story really helped carry out the video. It being about like two like elderly couples that maybe didn't exist. Maybe they were actually ghosts. We don't know. But like I like the fact that he's making it seem like it's paranormal, which I kind of do like about these horror stories. Like, say what you want, but I think like just watching Mr. Nightmare throughout the years and hearing like somewhat of the same story being played over and over again, like, oh, I went to a bar, someone creepy was there and it just creeped me out. Like, eventually, like, if you maybe it might be good for like new viewers that are coming back to the channel and like good listening to it, or good like listening to behind, but like listening to that like constantly over and over again, it starts to like wear down. But thank God I'm not a Mr. Nightmare like reaction channel. But the last story, it being somewhat of a horror, like paranormal type thing, I think it was really nice to keep that in there. So because of that, this video gets a 7 out of 10. I feel like the first two stories could have been better, or could have really dealt with the bar, with like it being at a bar more. Like, yeah, we got like a creepy guy at the bar. We got an incident from a bartender. But like, it feels like they could have happened anywhere else. With this one, it kind of like hits more, like hits more with the bar spot. So that's what I kind of like. So yeah, this video gets a 7 out of 10. And yeah, by the time I'm recording this too, Mr. Nightmare uploaded a new video called 3 True Winter Horror Stories, which I'm planning on also doing a reaction video to. it might be the last reaction video I do for Mr. Nightmare for a while though, because I'm actually like slowing down. So we'll see when that if I do end up making a reaction video to it. But yeah, I'm not, guys, don't expect like a lot of Mr. Nightmare videos from this channel. I am trying my best to like react to ones that actually like catch my eye, but I'm not gonna react to like every Mr. Nightmare video. But I hope you guys did enjoy this one. If you did, please leave a like. If you're new, please subscribe. If you are subscribed, make sure to post notification bell, because I don't have a schedule. Anyways, peace out.